Salvador Barrientos, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Sir, I do believe we reached a resolution in this matter.
Yes.
Exchange for a plea to an added count two of operating while intoxicated, operating while visibly impaired. First offense, the 93-day misdemeanor, $300 fine, and various license restrictions contrary to 2576253A, and an agreement to pay restitution in the amount of $1,425. Count one, operating while intoxicated, will be dismissed.
All of that is accurate, Your Honor. Mr. Brian, just filled out a advice of rights from church.
All right. I have it. May I have him sworn?
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So, yeah, I do. State your name. Salvador Barrientos, Jr., Your Honor.
All right. Sir, it is this court's understanding that you are going to be pleading guilty to the charge of operating while visibly impaired. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, up to a $300 fine plus court costs. The court could order rehabilitative services or any community care service the court deems necessary. Court could order your vehicle immobilized, could order you to pay the cost of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services. You understand all of that?
I do, Your Honor.
And understanding that, you still wish to plead guilty.
I do, Your Honor.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
You signed an advice of rights form today, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Any question regarding any of those rights?
No, Your Honor.
Please look at paragraph 5. You'll see a copy on the podium. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on the floor.
I do, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal outright.
I do, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No, Your Honor.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, Your Honor.
You're doing this voluntarily
I am, Your Honor.
of your own free will
Yes, sir.
and because you believe that you're guilty of this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
July 21st, 2024, at the location of on Carpenter Road in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, were you operating a motor vehicle?
Yes, Your Honor.
Prior to operating that motor vehicle, did you consumed intoxicating liquor?
I did, Your Honor.
What do you have and how much?
When I recall, Your Honor, I had at least 3 beers and at least 1 shot of whiskey, Your Honor.
All right. Were you stopped by the police or was there an accident?
I was stopped, Your Honor, due to other thing that was happening incident, and I was backing up, and that's when our side mirrors hit.
During the defendant drove up to a scene where police had made a stop, and there was a police incident going on, and then attempted to perform a U-turn and hit another vehicle that was parked. And then police made contact.
All right. Is that correct, sir?
That is, Your Honor.
All right. Were you ultimately arrested?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Were you taken to the hospital?
I was, Your Honor.
Was there a blood draw?
Yes, Your Honor.
And were the results of that blood draw 0.128?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have any reason to dispute those blood test results?
I do not, Your Honor.
Taking everything into consideration on that date and at that time, do you believe that your ability to operate that motor vehicle was visibly impaired due to your consumption of alcohol?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
People are satisfied.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Defendant,
Variance has been screened and assessment completed by Ms. Geiger, if that helps the court on the sentence. And it's done that.
no, no. If you provide that to Ms. Parody, then we can, but I will refer him. I'll refer him to Von Suarez for an alcohol screening and assessment and the victims impact panel. Ms. Parody, did I?
I'm just omnipresent.
So you give it to her and then you get it to Ms. Polaire.
I can't.
All right. Sentencing in this matter will be
April 30th to 12 p.m.
April 30th, 2025, 12?
Yes.
12 noon. Bond with its conditions.
Thank
I
you.
would never.
You're a wise man. All right. I wish I could say the same for people around me. Emily. Court calls the case, People versus Gabriel Boyd.
Good morning, Judge. I got spotted on behalf of Ms. Gabrielle Boyd, and COPS who just named before a lot of my clients were here.
All right. Ma'am, can you state your name, please?
Gabrielle Boyd.
Thank you. All right, what are we doing?
Thank you. Today, the date I've set for a shot. I respectfully just ask for one more adjournment, Judge.
The house with me, house. Michael Lustra.
All right, thank you.
That's correct, Your Honor. Defense counsel provided us some additional information they wish me to consider. In this case, I need more time to look into that. It's a little complicated. I could get confirmation intervention first, but then ultimately I'm looking at for the late April date.
All right. Adjourned to matter April 23rd, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond will continue.
We have
Thank
one request.
Mr. Kustra is a fisherman, walleye season. He's asking to go to Ohio for walleye.
He's going to Ohio on purpose.
Yes, but it's
Is that where
little to people, it's more about. It's
the walleyes? That's where they hang out? We don't have walleye in Michigan?
I like Ohio.
Oh, wow. You hear how he said that? I should take offense. When does he want to travel to do that? The whole month? So you want to travel during the month of? Do you have any problem with him traveling to Ohio to kill walleye?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Defendant may travel to Ohio. Thank you. Shouldn't have put it that way. It's not like murder. Court calls the case, People versus Sarah Orr.
Dr. Lonnie for the people.
Ellen Foster Tucker on behalf of Sarah Orr.
Sarah Orr.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, we're just asking for an adjournment. Ms. Lonnie and I did discuss this case. I think Ms. Lonnie just needs to look into some additional information.
That's correct, Your Honor. There's been an offer, a request for the offer I need to talk with Vic about.
April 23rd work for us.
It's fine.
April 23rd, 2025, 9 a.m. Where's your invite indicates bond will continue.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Court does call the case of the People versus Angela Walker.
Dr. Lonnie for the people.
Carolyn Foster Tucker on behalf of Angela Walker.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, Ms. Lonnie and I have been discussing this case. Unfortunately, we have not reached a resolution yet. We're hoping to just set this for a final settlement conference. Hopefully we can resolve it ahead of time.
Your Honor, offer has been extended, actually two versions of an offer to let the defendant choose which she prefers has been extended to the defendant. I understand she doesn't want to accept either at this time. I'm willing to leave that open to the final settlement date. Because this is an OWI, and I believe it was a blood draw case, it's lots of folks to get together. I was going to request June dates since our next final settlement is next Friday.
And there's no objection.
Jury final settlement conference will be June.
6 at 9 a.m.
Is that right?
That's what the 7 a.m. Sorry.
Okay. I figured you just didn't pick it, but I'm thinking it's.
I think that is right.
You know what? I'm not talking to Emily anymore. And
That is an accurate statement.
which part? The part about Emily or part about the day?
Yes,
That's the only reason I'm saying is that's the first Friday and not the second.
correct, which would make jury selection on Monday the 9th, and that's when the other judges are also doing their jury selection.
There's a long confirmation. It just June 6, 2025, 9 a.m. Jury selection, if necessary, June 9, 2025 at 8:30. Both of those proceedings are in person. Bond with its conditions will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Court does call the case of the People versus, is it Diaware? Thiem.
That's the one for the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Paul Tefelsky on behalf of Ms. Thiem.
I don't know if she
Can
does.
you please unmute, Madam Interpreter, and raise your right hand to be sworn? Can you hear me, Madam Interpreter?
Hi, I'm having a hard time listening and understanding.
Can you please raise your right hand to be sworn?
Okay.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will interpret accurately, completely, and impartially, using your best skill and judgment, and to translate from English into Portuguese and Portuguese into English in the manner now before the court, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Interpreter. Court does call the case of the People versus Maxwell Costa.
A corte está chamando o caso das pessoas contra Maxwell Costa.
Ashley Londy for the people.
If you didn't hear that, it's Ashley Landy for the People.
Ashley Lande representando o povo.
Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of the defendant.
Eu sou a Lori e eu sou a advogada de defesa do acusado.
Maxwell Silva Costa.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
He said his name, Maxwell Silva Costa.
Meu nome é Maxwell Silva Costa.
Your Honor, we're asking to set this for final settlement conference, please.
I apologize.
It's all right, that she's asking that this be set for final settlement conference.
Eu gostaria de pedir para que isso seja enviado para a decisão final.
Jury final settlement conference will be set for April 11, 2025, 9 a.m.
Nós vamos combinar para que a decisão final seja no dia 11 de abril de 2025, às 9 horas da manhã.
Jury selection, if necessary, will be April 14, 2025 arrive at 8:30.
Se nós precisarmos selecionar jurados, isso será feito no dia 14 de abril de 2025, às 8:30 da manhã.
Both of those proceedings are in person.
As duas audiências serão feitas pessoalmente.
Bond will continue.
A fiança continuará sob a mesma cautela.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Interpreter.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too.
14A District Court for County of Washington, State of Michigan is now back in session. The hours of the time.
You may be seated.
Ms. Holmes, case ending in 0092.
Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Ms. Holmes, the case ending in 1426.
Your name?
Natasha.
Thank you.
This one,
I'm sorry.
in this case, my client, Ms. Holmes, is going to be accepting an offer that Mr. Stiller had extended, in which case the misdemeanor will be dismissed, and she would accept responsibility to double parking the civil infraction.
That's correct.
On the 1426.
Correct.
All right. And on the other matter, what are we doing?
We're asking for an adjournment, Judge.
All right. So case ending in 9/2, I'll adjourn that matter to April 23rd, 2025, 9 a.m. Her bond will continue in that case. In the other matter, ma'am, do you admit responsibility to the fact that on or about October 27th, 2024, at the location of Gulfside Road near Twin Lakes in Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, that you double parked the motor vehicle? All right. Court will accept that admission. Count 2, count 1 is dismissed. Fines and cost of $180. When can you pay that, ma'am?
You're asking for the end of the month, Your Honor. She just recently started a new job.
Do you think you can get it done by then? Okay. Pay it by April 30th, 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case of the People versus Sean Charnley. Two cases.
Good morning. Public Defender, Attorney on behalf of Mr. Charlie. Considering, we're asking for not lengthy adjournments on these cases. He's being held on felony cases. He wants to resolve those before, or see what happens on those before resolving.
Trying to resolve this. Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't expect to be released anytime soon.
Okay, so when's the next hearing on this felony cases? Okay, are you, and I know you don't know the answer to this necessarily. Are you expecting that they'll be resolved tomorrow, or that something's gonna have to happen after that? Okay.
I hope that it do go tomorrow.
Right. Okay. Why don't I do this then? Since I'll adjourn these out to May 7th, 2025, 9 a.m. I'm not sure what scheduling you'll be working up at circuit court. If it needs, for whatever reason, since he's in custody, if those resolve in a way that he's out of custody and he's still in on these, then just let us know. We'll move his date up.
Can I be approached?
Yes. You should find out his reason. All right, I'll adjourn this to the May 7th, 2025, date 9 a.m. All right, bond continued. Thank you. Court calls case People versus Frederick Warden.
Good morning, this is Public Defender, Ron Attorney on behalf of Mr. Warden. Mr. Warden, can you please unmute and state your name?
Thank you.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender, Ron Attorney on behalf of Mr. Dorston. Mr. Dorston, please state your name for the record.
Jacob John Dorsey.
Your Mr. Dorston's complete no contest as charged.
As charged, ever report one? Does he sign an advice right? No. So I'll wait for that. While you do that.
For the record, Your Honor, the no contest plea is for lack of recollection.
All right. So he's pleading no contest as charged.
Yes.
And have him sworn.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to affirm the testimony you're about to give to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. What's your name? Jacob John Dorsey.
Sir, it is this court's understanding that you're pleading no contest to the charge of disorderly person under the Pittsfield Township ordinance. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days jail, $500 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Two things about it I have to make sure that you understand. First thing you need to understand is that it first of all means that you're not desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, court will treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. Still wish to plead no contest?
Yes, sir.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
No contest.
Now, you understand that by pleading no contest, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, sir.
All right. You signed an advice of rights form today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Any question regarding any of those rights?
No.
Look at paragraph 5 on that form. You'll see a copy on the podium. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form. You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole? Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead? Anybody threaten you or coerce you? Doing this voluntarily and of your own free will. All right, the court has been provided and has reviewed Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report for their case number 25950. Any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of no contest to this charge. Is he being held on anything? I don't.
He is, Your Honor, resisting an obstructive case scheduled for this court tomorrow. I asked for immediate sentencing to time served, Your Honor. I believe it's been in for almost a month, 25 days.
Any objection to that on behalf of the people?
No objection.
Sir, is there anything you want to say before I do impose sentence?
Yes, I just want to apologize to you and everybody involved in the case. I'm sorry.
I'll impose the state minimum fines and costs $125 and then 25 days in jail, credit 25, sir. Thank you. Court does call the case of People versus Jessica Fox. All right, Ms. Fox, why don't you do this? Hold on. Why don't you? What were you doing?
I'm trying to plug in my computer.
That loudly? Never mind. Ms. Fox, why don't you sign out and sign back in? I'll pass your case and we'll see if that'll work for you, okay? Court calls case People versus Matthew Gibbons.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Stewart Township.
Mr. Public Defender Natalie Kitty. Right, state your name for the record, sir.
Matthew Gibbons.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. There is a resolution in this case to which my client will be pleading no contest as charged.
May I have him sworn?
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear and affirm the testimony about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. That's it. State your name. Matthew Gibbons.
All right. Sir, it is this court's understanding that you are going to be pleading no contest to the charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. Basis for the no contest.
Suspension of liability, Your Honor.
Do you understand what a no contest plea is? All right. Two things about it. I have to make sure you understand. It means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that? Second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court will treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that? All right. Still wish to plead no contest? And to that charge, how do you plead? Now, you understand that by pleading no contest, you will not have a trial of any kind. You signed an advice of rights form today. Is that correct? Any question regarding any of those rights? Please look at paragraph 5. The copy on the podium. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand by pleading guilty or pleading no contest, you're giving up those rights as well as all the rights in that form. You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right. Are you on probation or parole? All right. Were you on probation or parole time of this offense? Okay. You understand then your plea could be a violation of that probation. You understand that as such, if it is considered a violation, that court could sentence you to the maximum allowable under that charge, under that other charge. You understand that, sir? Really, Farroney? Really? No, sir. Has anybody promised you anything other than what's promised you anything at all to get you to plead no contest? Anybody threaten you or coerce you? You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will. All right. The court has been provided and has reviewed Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report for their case number 245474. Any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there is a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of no contest to this charge. Is he being held in anything?
He is, Your Honor. He's set for sentencing at the end of this month on his 2 pending felony cases. To my understanding, there is a sentencing agreement in place. He has 56 days credit. I'm asking the court to consider.
56 days on this case?
Yes, he's been in.
All right, any objection to immediate sentence?
No, Your Honor.
Anything you want to say before I impose sentence, sir? Fines and costs of 125, just do state minimums. And you've been in 56 on this case?
Yes, sir.
56 days, Washington County Jail, credit 56 there. Thank you. Court calls case People versus Chiffon Hayes.
I'm here. Good
Oh.
morning, this is the Public Defender Warren Attorney on behalf of Ms. Hayes. Ms. Hayes, please state your name for the record.
Chiffon Hayes.
Thank you.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate, with on behalf of Lisa Yama, who is approaching. Please state your name for the record, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm just requesting a very brief adjournment so that I can to get the treatment verification for March the clinic that my client is receiving treatment. He's not being held in this case.
All right. Adjourn the matter April 23rd. Will that be enough time for you to?
I believe so, Your Honor.
All right, April 23rd, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
This is the Public Defender Natalie Tate, with on behalf of Mr. Kingston, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. There is a resolution of this matter to which my client will be pleading no contest to add in count 2 of retail fraud third degree, and exchange count 1 of retail fraud in second degree would be dismissed.
That's correct, Your Honor. Retail fraud in the third degree being a 93 days misdemeanor, $500 fine or a trouble amount, contrary to MCL 750356, DS and Delta 4.
Is he signed in advice read for?
Yes, Your Honor.
May I have him sworn?
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to affirm the testimony about the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. State your name.
Sir, it is this court's understanding that you are going to be pleading guilty to the charge, or pleading no contest, I should say, to the charge of retail fraud in the third degree. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, that is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court cost. Fine could be increased to 3 times the value of the property taken. If that's greater than $500, that would become the maximum fine. You understand that? All right. Do you understand what a no contest plea is? 2 things about it. I have to make sure you understand it. First of all, it means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that? Second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court will treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that? All right. Basis for no contest plea?
Civil liability.
To that charge, sir, how do you plead?
No contest.
You understand that by pleading no contest, you will not have a trial of any kind. All right. You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct? Any question regarding any of those rights? Please look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading no contest, you're giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form. You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right. Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Anybody promise you anything other than what's been stated here today to get you to plead? Anybody threaten you or coerce? You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will. All right, court has been provided and has reviewed Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report for their case number 2413961. Any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there is a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule?
Before satisfied. Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Defendant is referred to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report. Sentencing in this matter will be April 30th, 2025, 12 noon. Bond will continue. Thank you. Court does call the case of the People versus Jada Taylor.
Good morning. This is the Public Defender Lauren Attorney on behalf of Ms. Taylor. Ms. Taylor, can you state your name for the record?
Hi, Jada Taylor.
Good morning. This is the Public Defender Lauren Attorney on behalf of Mr. Minor. Mr. Minor, please state your name for the record. Your Honor, I did speak with the people today. I did review for Mr. Minor to mental health court. You should have a referral form.
I do, and I've signed that.
Perfect. I'm going to ask Mr. Minor to sign this. It sounds like you were going to get straight to mental health court, right?
How fast are they doing their screenings? Do we know? Don't know. Okay, is he being held on anything else?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I think that we could go to the 23rd. I'd appreciate that. Try to make sure we're getting him.
April 23rd, 2025, 9 a.m. All right.
And then I just need the referral form back, Your Honor.
Okay. So when Parenese woke up today and walked in, so first thing you did the thing with the computer.
I know.
Then yeah, twice,
No,
twice, yeah,
Mr. Silver.
twice. And then, no, it was twice. It was twice. And I wasn't gonna call you out on the second one, but whatever. And then the phone, right?
That was bad.
That was. and then the next thing, and then you didn't talk to your client about payment. And then just listen, I'm just going through the things you've done past hour 45 minutes. All right, and then you want the form back.
I do, I need to submit it.
I know. That's why I think. Would you like to hear? Set.
No.
Fine, we'll continue.
Thank you.
Yeah, do you really mean that?
Yes, I do. Hours left.
We'll get through today.
We will.
I'm just hoping you're not in custody. Court calls case people versus Daniel Sims. They're not up yet. They're not. I don't have, okay. I'll pass that one. Court does call the case people versus Jared Roberson. Gerald Roberson, no response unless you're in order to show cause. Failure to. Oh, hello, your name? You're not Jared Roberson.
Jared Rowe.
Okay. All right, come on now. State your name for the record, sir. Okay. Sir, you are before the court on a misdemeanor complaint that alleges that you are operating a motor vehicle with no insurance under the motor vehicle code. Do you understand that, sir? All right. It's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days, $500 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that? All right. First question I have for you, and I should say, this is alleged to have occurred on March 6, 2025 at the location of eastbound I-94 near Stone School Road. It alleged to have occurred on eastbound I-94 near Stone School. All right. All right, sir. First question I have for you is, do you want to be represented by an attorney? No? What are you going to do in this case? Okay. Is that really what you want to do? Really? What if it could be worked out to something less than a misdemeanor? What, are you having problems hearing me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you, okay, we've got equipment. Let's see if that'll work for you, okay? Does that help you at all, sir?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. So next time you come in, just make sure to ask us for that, okay?
Hello?
So, seriously. Does Ms. Fox, she's here? Okay, tell her to wait. All right. You don't want to be represented by an attorney? What if something can be worked out that's not a misdemeanor? Wouldn't you like to explore that option?
Yeah.
So do you know how to do that?
No.
So do you want an attorney to help you?
Yeah.
Great. Public defender Kate.
Public defender Natalie Page, on behalf of Mr. Stands by right, we would waive any further reading, stand mute, and ask for a pretrial date.
Defendant having waived for a reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial in this matter will be adjourned to April 23rd, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond in this case will be $5,000 personal recognizance bond, standard conditions, no assaultive behavior, possession of any weapons, no alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drugs. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls case people versus Daniel Sims. Saturday.
That's a lot of people. Sorry about that, Your Honor.
It's okay.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Page, on behalf of Mr. Simpson, who stands to my right, please state your name for the record, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have discussed this matter both with my client and people. We're asking for a very brief adjournment to get the CCTV footage from the store.
Got it. Is he being held on anything else?
He is, Your Honor.
All right. So I'll adjourn the matter to April 23rd, 2025, 9 a.m. All right. Bond will continue. Well, hold on.
You might have a PR on this, Your Honor.
Does he want a PR? I mean, he's.
Yeah.
Oh, in the other. Oh, gotcha. All right. We'll leave it at PR. All right. Thank you, sir. Let me try this. Court recalls the case people versus Jessica Fox.
Absolutely, but people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney, on behalf of Mr. Young, Mr. Astor, statement of record.
Thank you.
So, Your Honor, I know last time we said we could get this resolved by today.
You
but
did.
We did not, but we're very close.
But Ms. Parity, your day is not going well. But go ahead.
Well, it's always great to see you. We made an agreement with Mr. Siller that if he has a felony that's up for exam on Tuesday. If that case is reduced to a misdemeanor, which we believe that it will be, he'll be pleading on that case, as well as get Mr. Siller proof of why he had these items in his possession. He will dismiss both cases. So
Got it.
we have an agreement. It's just he's got.
You gotta have the exam.
Right.
And when is it up? The 8th, before who?
Judge Barr.
All right,
Mr. Burgess is representing him on that case.
got it. Okay. So I don't think he's not held on these, is he?
So he has that was my next question. He does have $100 bonds on each. It may be 1,010%, but it actually says $100 on each. He is going to be requesting a personal bond on Tuesday before Judge Barr if that case is reduced to a misdemeanor. So he would like to request this court to reduce these cases to personal bonds as well.
Are the people gonna have any objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
I'll adjourn these cases to April 23rd, 2025, 9 a.m. Okay, then, and I'll set his bonds in these cases as personal recognizance, $5,000 bond. And I'll just do that now. And then if he gets that other PR, then we'll be all set.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Is that it for you guys?
Yes.
What's that? Court stands in recess.
All rise.
And again, your haircut is beautiful.
All rise. The 14A District Court for County of Washington, State of Michigan is now back in session. The Honorable Judge J. Simpson.
You may be seated. Exactly. Court does call the case, People versus Elijah Kyler.
Absolutely. People know better. Elijah Kyler in both matters, who appears via Zoom for the power of DOC. Sir, can you please state your name for the court?
Elijah Kyler.
Okay.
We have reached a resolution in these cases.
Yes.
The defendant is going to be pleading to the misdemeanor case 2211408 as charged with no contest plea. In exchange for that, the felony case 22F55145 will be dismissed as long as the defendant agrees to pay restitution. I'm so sorry. To protect it from predator. I'm sorry about that.
Go ahead.
So he'll be pleading to the misdemeanor and dismissing the felony case as long as he agrees to pay restitution to the Ann Arbor Police Department for the vehicle that was damaged.
That is correct, Your Honor, and I have discussed that offer with my client, and he would like to accept that at this time. We did no contest to the misdemeanor charge in the misdemeanor case, and we do understand that there is an agreement with him to pay all restitution. That amount is not yet set.
Okay. So just so that I'm clear as to the mechanics of this, you want the restitution from the felony to be assessed in the misdemeanor case?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
All right.
If the court will be willing to do that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have a problem doing that. Okay. Very good. Okay. Sir, can you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. State your name for the record, please.
Elijah James Kyler.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Sir, it is this court's understanding that you are going to plead no contest to the charge of malicious use of a telecommunication service.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 6 months incarceration and $1,000 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right. Two things I need you to understand about it. It first of all means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court would treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. Basis for the no contest plea.
Such a civil liability, Your Honor.
All right. So, sir, to that charge, how do you plead?
No contest.
Now, you understand that by pleading no contest, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal upright.
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
I'll be on parole this summer.
Okay, but right now you're not on probation and you're not on parole.
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody threatened you or coerced you in any way?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes, I am.
All right. Court has been provided and has reviewed Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report for their case 22-9307. Any objection to the court reviewing that report?
No, Your Honor. No.
Court, on the review of that report, does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule?
People are satisfied. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Court will accept the defendant's plea of no contest to this charge. And 22 F5 1545 is dismissed as part of this plea agreement with restitution being reserved and assessed in the other matter. So the determination of restitution is just needs to be gotten from APD. Is
That's
that
my intent, is to get that number from that and pass on to Ms. Valero.
all right? So defendant is referred to probation for pre-sentence investigation and report and determination of restitution. Sentencing in this matter will be
April 30th at 12 p.m.
April 30th, 2025, 12 p.m. All right. His bond will continue in this matter. Sir, I need you to hold on the line. We're going to put you into a breakout room with our probation intake so they can get preliminary information and get the process started, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Yes, have a great
Thank you,
afternoon.
sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Kyler.
Thank you.
Got it. Court does call the cases of the people versus Abdullah Al-Kafaji.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township in all 4 cases.
Public Defender Natalie Quick, on behalf of Mr. Al-Kafaji, who is present via Zoom.
Sir, can you please unmute, turn on your camera, and state your name for the court?
Abdullah Al-Kafaji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. There is a resolution to all 4 of these cases, which in the case ending in 1181, my client will be pleading to the reduced charge of MCL 257.326, and all other 3 cases will be dismissed.
That's correct. That will be pleading case 1181, then dismiss the remaining 3 cases.
And it's 326.
Yes, sir.
Yes, 326.
All right. Does he want to remove his hat?
Mr. Al-Kafaji, can you remove your hat from the court? Thank you, sir.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
State your name again for the record.
Abdullah Al-Kafaji.
All right. Sir, it is this court's understanding that you are going to be pleading guilty to the charge of allowing an ineligible driver to operate a motor vehicle. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, you can put your hand down.
Okay.
That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days, $100 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You still wish to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
You signed an advice of rights form, or you did not sign an advice of rights form. Because you're having a trial, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're also giving up the right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're giving up the right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand all of that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal over it.
Sorry, I don't understand what that means. I don't.
All right.
To appear.
You're giving up your right to appeal of right, which means that if you don't like the fact that you have a conviction or the sentence in the case, that would not be an automatic appeal. You would have to ask permission of the higher court to appeal your case. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You understand you're giving up your right, like I said, to appeal of right. So now you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you in any way?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes, Your Honor.
And also because you believe that you're guilty of this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
August 31st, 2024, at the location of Packard Road near Golf Site in Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, did you have custody or control of a motor vehicle?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you allow someone who was otherwise ineligible, maybe inclusive of yourself, to operate that motor vehicle?
No.
Well,
Mr. Alkafaji, he asked you if you allowed someone, maybe even yourself, who was not eligible to drive him that day. Did you do so, even if that person was yourself?
Oh, yeah. I drove myself. I got pulled over and they towed my car after that. So there was nobody else, like a passenger, that was able to drive. If that's what you're asking. But yeah, no. No, there's nobody other than myself that was driving. No.
okay. And at that time, you weren't ineligible, or you weren't eligible to drive. Is that correct?
Correct.
Counsel? Have they complied with the court ruling? Would it be proper to accept the defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed, as well as the case ending in 498, case ending in 1500, and the case ending in 1116.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you. Anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
No.
Fines and costs of $250. I'll suspend 90 days in jail.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. When can you pay the $250?
I can pay it today. Can I come? I'm gonna come into the court and pay in cash. If that.
Okay, very good. Pay that today then, and then you're all set.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. I appreciate it. Have a good
Thank you
one.
very much, sir. Have a good one.
Court does call the case of the people versus Kia Berry.
On behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with on behalf of Ms. Berry, who should be present via Zoom. Can you please unmute and state your name for the record, ma'am?
My name is Kia Berry.
Jeez, you got her. Okay. All right, what are we doing?
Thank you, Your Honor. So since we've been last in court, Ms. Berry did take a written test. Again, she is scheduled to take it again this Friday. She is very hopeful and expects to pass this Friday and is asking for another adjournment
Sometime what?
into May.
We'll adjourn the matter. Objection, May 7th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Berry.
Thank you.
Court calls case people versus Daniel Bowe.
On behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and possibly or definitely on behalf and hopefully with Mr. Bowe, maybe present via Zoom.
So Mr. Bowe was in custody at Macomb County Jail?
Yes.
Yes, a writ was done, but we didn't get the confirmation of it. So they signed in at 9 a.m. this morning, but we're not able to accommodate the 11 a.m. time block.
They signed it. Oh,
yeah. But we didn't know until after they had left.
Okay.
So Macomb County.
So that would be his explanation for his failure to obtain that information. I did not know he was in the Macomb County.
This is very articulately put. I'll adjourn this to April 23rd, 2025, 9 a.m. Thank you.
Are we gonna need another writ?
Yes, we are. Court does call the case People versus Micaiah Burton.
Kind of still on behalf of Mr. Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate with the Monday Actions Court. This present being sued. Ma'am, can you please unmute and state your name to the court?
Good morning. My name is Micah Burton.
It's Micah. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. There is a resolution in this matter to which my client will be pleading guilty under HIA.
And Your Honor, given her age, that requires a consent of the prosecution, and I have given that consent.
Ma'am, can you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you get?
Yes,
State your name for the record, please, again.
Micah Burton.
All right. And this is court's understanding that you're going to be pleading guilty to the charge of retail fraud under the Pittsfield Township Ordinance. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days and a $500 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Still wish to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent and not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything to get you to plead to this charge other than what's been stated here today on the record?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerce?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes, Your Honor.
And also because you believe that you're guilty of this offense?
Yes.
On the date of January 14, 2025, at the location of 7000 East Michigan Avenue in Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, what did you do at the Walmart that makes you think that you're guilty?
I skip scanned items at the Walmart and I tried to leave without paying for them.
All right. The store was open to the public at the time?
Yes.
You didn't have anybody's permission to not pay for these items, did you?
No.
And these items that you skip scanned, they were items that Walmart had offered for sale? I didn't hear your response, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, okay. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of guilty to this charge. Defendant is referred to probation for pre-sentence investigation and report. Sentencing will be